Chris here in the front left.
Grant Newsome, there was at the time it seemed like you were battling for that left tackle spot, but it seemed like you made the most essential play on Saturday.
I thought it was definitely a good start. I mean, obviously there's a lot to improve. I think we'll see that when I go over the film with Coach Drebno. So definitely a lot of areas to improve on, but it was good to get out there and get my first start kind of under my belt.
What did you feel like you did best?
I thought as an offense, we moved the ball really well. And I think to come out in that second drive and move the ball 98 yards really kind of set the tone for the game. I think we converted pretty well on third down and just made plays where we needed to.
Second row to the right, Michael.
Hello, Grant. Can you take us through your touchdown and just how much more comfortable it seemed like Wilton got as that first quarter went on?
So when I lined up, I actually thought he was going to throw to me because we had a look that we usually don't throw to. There was bracket coverage, and I ran my route, got open, threw a perfect ball. It was a good play, but just as a growth aspect, I feel like I've really matured. I'm feeling good in the third spot role, and just ready to get after it some more.
And how did you think Wilton progressed throughout that first half?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously that first play was kind of bizarre. We all were kind of shaking our heads, but he brushed that off, and he really showed that he can lead this team, and he's a winner.
Second row on the left, Adam.
Grant Newsome, yourself, the offensive line, kind of asserted control early. The running back especially, played well with Chris, and then even, guys like Kingston and Karan getting carries. Can you assess just the talent level you guys have in the backfield and your impressions from, especially, like a guy like Chris, what he did Saturday?
Well, I mean, it's great. It was nice for us because we've known all camp what Chris can bring. So it was kind of funny, or not funny, but it was great to be able to get out in the field and kind of let the world see what he can bring. So we've seen that for 3 weeks during camp. But I mean, it's great as an offensive line when you can open up a hole and know that you have multiple backs, not just one in the backfield, who, if you give them a little bit of space, will make the most of it. And you saw that in a couple of runs where we just gave them a little bit of space, and they were able to shoot through the hole, and get to the end zone.
Any of the runs surprise you guys, or was this all things that you guys saw coming?
I mean, we were really fortunate that our offensive staff and Coach Drebno, Coach Harbaugh really prepared us incredibly well for this week, and also being able to go against similar defense in our own defense for camp was a huge help. So that we basically knew every look they were going to bring us, and we had kills for every blitz they were going to show us. So that's what a lot of the big runs came for, was just having practiced that exact look and knowing exactly how to block it.
Other questions for these guys? Please raise your hand. Front left here, Steve.
Great. Newsome. What's enabled you to play as quickly as you played at a position that's pretty tough to do? Yeah.
I think just coaching. I mean, I came last year really, really raw. I still think I'm pretty raw, but just being able to get in under Coach Drebno's wing and study him, and also study some of the older guys, Eric Magson, Mason, Kalis, Ben Braden, and then Graham last year. So just being able to observe them and study from them, and then, like I said, take all the coaching points I can get from Coach Drebno has really been instrumental in helping me develop as a player.
Staying to the front left here with Angelique.
Does it say anything to either of you, or what does it say that Harbaugh is willing to play, as many freshmen as he did Saturday, and coming? He said he'll play more coming up.
It just shows that there's really no favorites. It's who's ever the best on the field will play, and that's a great thing because a lot of players want to play early and want to get that experience. I know that really helped me playing all last year. So I mean, that's just a great thing that he's doing, and I think it really benefits the player.
I agree. I mean, it's really, for me, it was really helpful last year to get some experience in the game. And like Grant said, it's great to play in a system and play under a coach where you know that if you're the best of your position, you're going to play. And I think that's how it should be. It should be a meritocracy. It's a lot of programs you see, guys won't start until they're redshirt juniors or redshirt sophomores at the least. So I think it's a great system where, if you're the best of your position, you'll play no matter what age you are.
Going back to the middle right, Michael.
Newsome, I know that offensive linemen always say that it doesn't make a difference who's in the game, you block the same way, you don't pay attention kind of thing. Excuse me. But with Chris Evans, it seems like when you guys would pull to your side and you'd get out in front, you really have to get downfield pretty damn quickly, don't you? Because he's right
really
on your back.
We have a lot of guys in offense who are really, really quick. So that is one thing that you do have to get out in front and try to just just get on somebody, because they're gonna try to make you right. We saw that on a couple of the plays where, didn't have a perfect block, like that one, Chris's first touchdown, didn't have a great chop block there, but he was just so quick that he was able to make it right. So,
Going back to the front row on the left, Chris.
Newsome again, you started some or played some as a true freshman. Did you have some words for Ben Bredesen, and what was competition with him like? What kind of a lineman is he?
I mean, he's gonna be a great player. I think he's a really good player right now. And definitely having that experience from last year and kind of being in a similar situation, I told him, just go out there and enjoy it and make the most of it, and don't worry, because we're fortunate here to go against defensive linemen who are some of the best in the country, if not the best in the country. So it's nice having that experience to know that the guys you're playing against in practice are every bit as good, if not better, than the guys you're going against Saturday. And then as for the competition, I mean, it was great. Competition only makes each other better, and he really pushed me throughout camp, and I think he's still going to push me. And I think it's great for me because I go out to practice every day and know that I have to earn a starting spot every day. So just it forces me to get better.
Second row middle, John.
For both of you guys, and this is kind of what you've been talking about, but we saw some guys go down in the first game. Talk about the quality depth that seems to be available or that you're building, so that when that happens, somebody can step in.
Yeah, we have some great depth at really at all positions. As you guys saw, some of the defensive line got bumped up or injured, but D-line is probably our deepest position. So people are just stepping in, filling spots. That's what it really comes down to. Who the next man up. With all these freshmen playing, they're excited. That's they may get their chance if someone gets injured or hurt. So.
Yeah, that's definitely a great aspect of having a lot of freshmen play and having guys play early, so they have experience, so that down the line, game 8, game 9, we have guys hurt. Those guys already have game experience, and I think we were pretty fortunate last year to avoid a lot of major injuries. But I mean, football's a violent game; you never know when someone's going to go down. So it's nice to have guys in the 2 deep and even in the 3 deep who have game experience.
Going back to the second row middle, Adam, on your left.
Question for both Grants. Just both of you guys having played early, how much benefit, I guess, is it for you to go talk to younger players? Because you mentioned, Grant Perry mentioned how everybody wants to play early, everybody's excited. Being in that position, how can you give them any advice or kind of guide them through it, what you did to be able to do that? Same with Grant Newsome.
Yeah, I definitely think I took more of like a kind of mentor role this camp. Talking to all the 3 receivers that came in. Nate Johnson, really took him under my wing. I told him what not to do, what to do, and I just warned him, like, it's real out there. It's not practice anymore. So you got to be sharp. You got to be on your game, because mistakes can happen and games can turn fast. So you got to be on your toes ready at all times.
For both of you guys, without getting into specifics, when you play a defense like the one we saw on Saturday, how often do you guys go against the ones, and is that as tough a defense really as you guys have faced in your short careers?
I mean, for me personally, we saw some good defensive ends at the end of last year, some good defensive lines. Obviously, I didn't play against Michigan State last year, and they had a pretty good defensive line. But it's great. We have a defensive line and a defense in general that's very talented. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find a defense that's as talented across the board as ours. So it's really it's invaluable to go against them every day in practice. And I mean, I don't want to get into the conversation of our defense is better than the next defense, but we have a very, very good defense, and it's great for our offense to be able to go against them all camp and every week in practice.
Yeah, I agree with that. And he's starting with the defensive line, but even the secondary, it's second to none. There's some great athletes in our secondary. So just being able to go against them every day, it makes it a lot easier come game day.